Morning guys, welcome back to my channel. So on Thursday, my son Alexander turns 2 years old. This is kind of, I know I've got mixed feelings about this one because he's our last. So he's growing up that those 2 years have just gone so quickly, it's unbelievable. But instead of doing a birthday video like a lot of parents and a lot of mum bloggers do, I wanted to keep them kind of separate from the vlog. So any of my kids' videos, pretty much birthdays, I won't be vlogging, just because there'll be other children there'll be other families there, and not everybody is comfortable having a camera in their face. So I thought of something a little bit different. I wanted to show you guys the best products that us as a family have found and that have worked with Alexander for the past 2 years. So this first product actually comes together. I received these two originally at my baby shower from a friend of the family's, and as soon as I saw them, as soon as I smelt them, as soon as I used them on Alexander, once I had him, I absolutely fell in love and have been using, obviously, as I said, these products for the last 2 years. It is the EcoStore Nappy Balm and also the EcoStore Baby Soap. These guys are actually from New Zealand, which is fantastic. I love the fact that they are kind of a local brand. All these products I don't actually have on me right now, but I will link in everything in the description, and I will also, when I talk about the products that I don't have with me, I will pop up a photo in the video so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this next product I've used on both my children, Haley and Alexander. Unfortunately, I was unable to breastfeed for some strange reason. I still have no idea. I remember the first couple of days after Haley was born, and I used to cry because I couldn't do it. By the time I'd had Alexander, I'd realised, this actually is probably a good thing because it means that hubby can do the nighttime feeds and I can sleep. A baby bottle, and these Philip Avent bottles are the best, and the reason they are is because when you have a child that is born premature, like both my children, these are the bottles that they use in the hospital. So when you can come home, you can keep using these because you can buy them from your local supermarket, you can buy them from Big W, from Kmart, online, you can buy them pretty much anywhere, which is fantastic, and they're not that expensive. If, like Alexander, he bites the teat and then there's a hole, they're not actually that expensive to replace, and they come in usually a pack of 3, or one of the biggest ones. This is a 260ml or a 9-ounce bottle for all you UK and US followers, and I rave about these all the time to everybody. All my friends that are having babies, I tell them to get onto this one because these are the best, and they last for a really long time, which is absolutely fantastic. They wash great. Yeah, can't say enough about them, honestly. And as I said, they're not that expensive, which is a bonus. And then most babies, by the time they are 6 months old, you will notice their cheeks are getting really red and they're drooling a lot. It's because they're probably getting teeth. And again, this is a product that I have used both with Alexander and Haley as well, and this can be used from 4 months old, and it's sugar-free. Bonjela, it is the best stuff ever, because obviously until a certain age you can't give them Panadol, so this is the next best thing. And as you can see, it's like nearly running out, so this will be my last tube because Alex has nearly got all his teeth now. I think he's only got his 2-year-old molars to get, and they are usually the worst. So this little bit that I've got left will be used definitely in the next couple of weeks for sure. Now this product, I don't think anyone, you may have actually seen it in 1 or 2 videos, when I first had Alexander, was the small bassinet, grey bassinet that I had in our room. We actually sold that once he got out of it. He was 9 months old. Normally you don't keep a baby in a bassinet until 9 months old, but because Alexander was so tiny, and he wasn't rolling over, and he wasn't, you know, trying to sit up and things like that. At that age, we could keep him in it. And then one day he decided to climb out of it, and we realised now is the time that we definitely need to move him into a cot. So the one that we used was a co-sleeper, so you could take down the side. I'll insert a photo now, and you just pop it up next to mum's side of the bed, dad's side of the bed, wherever you want, or you could have it separate. If you can't have it next to your bed, there's not enough room, you can always put it down the end of your bed and have all four sides up. And this was great because you could also adjust the height of the legs, which was great for me because obviously me sitting in the chair all the time, I need to be able to bend over and lift a baby outside, out of the cot. Whereas obviously, you know, my husband's 6 foot tall, and, you know, his parents or my mum or anyone that wanted to get him out of the cot are average size people. So it was good for them because we could make it higher, so they weren't bending down too far like I needed to get him in. So the next product obviously is so big I can't bring it into my lounge room, is a cot. Alexander has been using this, as I was saying before, from 9 months old until recently. He's still in it, but I think by Christmas time he may be in a big boy bed, which makes me sad. And you guys saw a little snippet of it in the toddler routine that I did a couple of weeks ago. I'll link that video down below if you guys want to know more information about the cot, because obviously I didn't show it completely. Please comment down below and I can do a full review on that particular one. I don't know the brand, only because I purchased it like when I was pregnant with Hayley, so it was that long ago. I actually have no idea. It's just a white cot, generic cot. I have no idea. But if you guys want to see more about how I use it, because obviously you could see, if you've seen the video, you could see that it's a little bit different to everybody else's. So as I said, comment down below and I can do a little video on that. Another product you guys have seen me use in some earlier videos when Alexander was a baby and he first came home was the stroller that we use. It's a Jane. It is from Europe and I absolutely am in love with this stroller. Again, if you guys want to, I've still got it, even though he doesn't use it. I'm not ready to part with it just yet, just in case. But if you guys want to see a demonstration of how it is used, then let me know and I can do a little video on that, just because it has some absolutely great features that I really love. Yeah, okay, I'm videoing. Can you ring me back? Alright, love you. Bye. Another product on my must-have list is the muslin wraps. They are beautiful. They come in so many different colours and patterns. They are just the best, and you can never have too many. They're not expensive at all, and I absolutely loved using them. I wish my children stayed in them more instead of not wanting to be wrapped up at all. But, you know, even when they're out of them, you know, I use them for like a burp cloth for Alexander. That is a must, is a baby bag. And I was so lucky that with the pram that I did purchase, it came with one. Again, they're not that expensive depending on what you're looking for. Like if you're just looking for a generic black or blue or whatever colour, then, you know, Target, Big W in Australia, everyone has them. So where you can obviously get the more expensive depending on, you know, if you want a fashionable one. Like I had with Hayley, I had a beautiful one. It was green, it had pink flowers. My mum bought it for me as a baby shower gift, and it was just to die for. It was just from a local little shop here where I'm from in Tassie, and yeah, I loved it. And everyone asked me all the time where I got it from. I can't even remember the name of it, but it was absolutely beautiful. A product I used all the time with Hayley and especially with Alexander, because he was eating solids earlier than Hayley was a bamboo seat. These are great because you can pop them on, you know, your dining room table while you guys are eating dinner, strapped to a dining room chair. You know, if you're going out for dinner, you can chuck it in the car. They're only little, they're really light. Again, not expensive. available pretty much anywhere, any colour, and yeah, they're just fantastic little product. The next one is a high chair. Now, I was given a high chair from my cousin who used it for her 3 children, and I absolutely loved this one because this one you are able to adjust the height of the seat, so you could adjust the legs to a height. So if you wanted to stand up, you could have it really high that you didn't have to bend over. Or if you were sitting at the dining room table, you could have it to your height of where you were sitting. And unfortunately, I used it all through with Hayley up until she was about 2.5, I think, and then she started sitting at the table. But unfortunately, by the time Alexander was 1, he outgrew this, and I was so sad to put it in my shed. So I had to go out and purchase a new one, and so this one is from Kmart, I believe. I will insert a picture here. This is great because it is a lot bigger. There seems to be a lot more room, you know, and he still looks quite small in it. There's not much room left now that he's turned 2 or just about to turn 2, but I might get a couple of months maybe more out of it, and then he's done. So, and these are great because they have the shoulder straps and the ones at the hips, and so they're nice and safe. You know, obviously you're not meant to leave them while they're in there by themselves, but you know, if I need to go and get something from the sink or whatever, I can quickly turn around, grab what I need to, go back to him, and he's safe. He doesn't move, he's fine. So, and he loves it as well. And this one particular one that we did purchase, the only thing I was disappointed about was the tray. Because it's a flip up one, so you can't take it off, pop the child in, put the tray on. You slide the child in to it and then do the seatbelt up. And the other thing was the size of the tray. It is a circular tray, and I like the ones that have the small square, more room on them, just because, you know, Hayley loved doing paintings and drawings and things, and I would always sit her in her old high chair. But unfortunately with this one, Alex really can't do anything other than eat in it, which is fine. So I'm going to definitely invest in a little table and chairs for him, probably for Christmas, I think. So that will be his thing, and that he can do his art and craft and eating and stuff once he's out of his high chair, which will be very soon. As I said, it's getting a little small. A car seat. So the car seats that we go for are the Safe and Sound ones. They are absolutely fantastic. You can go to the RACT, RACV, wherever in Australia, and they will, and some baby shops also will fit it for you, just to make sure that it is in properly, it is in securely, you know, and show you, if you're a first time mum or dad or grandparent, how to actually put your child into this seat. So they are absolutely fantastic. We had one with Hayley, and we would have used it with Alexander, but you can't use it after a certain amount of years. And also, if there's been damage to the car seat, or if you've been in a car accident and something's happened, you can't actually use it anymore. So we had to actually purchase a new one for Alexander. But again, it is the Safe and Sound one. This is the infant one up until they are, I think, a certain amount of kilos or a certain age. I cannot remember. But he will be into the toddler. Like, he's been, yeah, I don't know. He will be in the next size up very, very soon. Which is, in Tasmania, is the law up to the age of 7 or however many kilos and how tall they are. So that's, which we've still got, because that's not as old as the first one we had, which obviously is for their protection. But yeah, this Safe and Sound toddler up to preschooler one, I absolutely loved with Hayley, and it was so comfy. It was easy to clean, you know, when there's bodily functions happening in the back of the car, it's very easily clean, which is great. So, and again, we went to I think it was RSET, and got that installed as well, just to be on the safe side, because obviously she was our first and we had no idea what we were doing. Where this time again, we did the RSET because it's been such a long time. We didn't know whether there's new rules to how and where it has to be secured. So just to be safe, it is best to go to a professional and get them fitted. This next product isn't really something, like my daughter wasn't obsessed with anything in particular, but my son has become attached to something, and you may have seen this particular little person in a lot of my videos. He does look a bit ragged and he stinks. He needs another bath in the washing machine. They do wash really well. He's a little bit ragged because he's been sucked on, chewed on and whatnot, but Alexander loves his jelly cat. He calls it my bunny. This is the purple one, I believe. There are so many different colours, so many different sizes. You can get them in mini, you can get them in like the really big ones, but I absolutely loved it. And it was from another friend of the family, gave it to me a couple of weeks after I had Alexander, and he had come home, and from that day he has just been obsessed with this thing and he carries it everywhere. But not today. I kind of snuck it out of his room just to show you guys, but he is so cute. I love him. I am very tempted to buy him another one just as a backup, because they always say, you know, when you give your child a toy, always get a backup, because they always get lost, or one gets ripped and torn to pieces, or you just can't wash it anymore. So it's best to have a backup. But I haven't gotten him one yet, because I honestly didn't think up until now he would still be obsessed with this thing. But yeah, he is. He cannot sleep without this thing. So if not that he goes anywhere other than our place to sleep, but if he went to like my mum's or something, this would have to come with him for sure, because he would not sleep without it. He cuddles up to it and he walks around the house. Like, it's really cute. I love this thing. As I said, it stinks like milk. So this afternoon, before he goes for a nap, this will be going in the washing machine. And as I said, they wash and dry fantastic. They're not that expensive. So if you need to grab a couple, I've seen them. They're not readily available here in Australia, but I have seen them in a couple of stores in Hobart. But yeah, definitely, I think probably in Sydney and Melbourne and things, they're probably more readily available. Otherwise, I'd buy it online. But he's very, very cute. This one's just really awkward to pick up with one hand. But Alexander's fold-out couch. Both my children have had these and they are great. The only problem I've had and my husband's had is once you wash them, usually, because you can obviously take this cover off, you can't, it's very tricky to get back on, so you kind of need to work out before you take it off how it came off, and then it's usually easier to put on. But this one is a Paw Patrol one. My daughter had a fairy one, I think it was, but Alexander is obsessed with Paw Patrol, so we bought that for him. I think it was his first birthday, and he loves just being able to sit and have a snack and watch TV or watch a movie in it, and yeah, it's great for them. Hayley actually used to have a nap in them sometimes. When I couldn't get her to actually go to her room and have a nap in her bed, she would have a nap in here, and I would just chuck her pillow, because you can obviously fold them out, chuck a pillow in it, put her in it, she would lay down, and then I could put a little blanket on her and she would do that. Alexander won't, because he's a boy and it just doesn't work with him. But yeah, no, they both absolutely love them. And again, this one, particular one, I think we bought in Kmart, but you can buy them Big W, Kmart, Target, pretty much anywhere. And they're not that expensive if you're just looking for, one with just a little pattern on it. This one I think was a little bit more expensive because it is Paw Patrol, of course. But that's okay. I'm fine. It's got a little couple of stains on it. I haven't washed it yet because I'm like, I don't want to have to put the thing back on because, yeah, anyway. But it's pretty clean. It's easy to wipe down. Like, if he makes a mess on it and you wipe it up straight away with a baby wipe or just a warm cloth, usually this stain's come out. The only stain that hasn't come out is a green texture on Paul Rubble's face. But that's about it. But I do love them and recommend them. You know, the grandparents can have one in their house, or again, you can chuck this in the car if you're going camping, or you're just going for a ride somewhere, and they're absolutely fantastic. So when we go to Melbourne, if we decide, when we go and see Steve's family in Melbourne, if we decide to go over by boat, this probably will come with us because we'll be taking the car. So it's easy to chuck in. It's, even if you fold it out, it's very light. It's very small, so it'll fit in the car easily. So we'll see. I don't know if we'll take it, but yeah, but I love that. And as I said, we had to get Paw Patrol. Like, as soon as I remember his face, because obviously we had to take him with us because he was little, and we took him shopping and we were buying him things for his birthday, and he saw like this Paw Patrol thing and he was just screaming on the top of his lungs. He was really happy. And actually I had to give it to him straight away when we got home because I felt really bad hiding it. Because he'd seen it, I felt really bad hiding it. So I did give him that present a little bit early. And this year also, again, there is one gift that I have already given him, even though his birthday's not for a week and his party's not until next Sunday. So today is Saturday, so it's next Sunday his party. I wasn't going to give him this particular present, but my husband brought it home and he saw it, and so it's now a permanent fixture in my lounge room. But it's not Paw Patrol, but it's very, very bright. It's like bright blue and green. I will, once I've fixed it up a little bit, I will be posting photos on my Instagram and things of what I've done with it so you guys can have a look. Product my kids didn't really seem to use for a long time like some of the children do. Dummies. I think Hayley's were just a generic brand, but Alex had specific ones and I've just had to look up the name. Jolly Pop they are called because I couldn't remember. He hasn't had them since he was about 3 months old, I think. Both my kids were pretty good, like I found the bottle probably the hardest to wean them off, where dummies, they just did it by themselves and I was so thankful. But these particular Jelly Pop ones are very hard to find, I have found. So I've had to order them online when I did lose a couple. And they come in all different sizes. They're not that expensive, but by the time you ship it over to Tassie, they can get expensive. So I am glad in another way that Alex doesn't use them still. That particular one, the only reason I used these was because that particular dummy was given to Alex in hospital. So he went 2 weeks in hospital on and off using a dummy. They only use really a dummy in NICU when they are giving a shot or taking blood tests and things like that, or doing like an ultrasound or prepping for surgery or anything like invasive. They will give the baby a dummy, but usually they don't. So as I said, this particular dummy was given to Alex and he came home. I think they'd give us one spare one, I think, and then the one he used in hospital, and I lost both of them and kind of went, I think I need to order some more, and I think I got like 4, and I think I only used 2 of the 4, so I have them sitting around my house somewhere. But they are really good. As I said, I love them. I believe they are much better than the generic ones, you just buy. I don't know, they just fit around the mouth a lot better. I'll insert a photo of the dummy and also Alexander actually sucking on it, so that you can see it's not just a round one, it's actually forms around the mouth, so it's more secure. Now that Alexander has been walking for a year, I would say, maybe a little bit less than a year, which is crazy because he's actually running now, so no one would even believe that he's only been walking a year. He, as I said, because I don't use the pram anymore, I don't use the baby bag, we're using a backpack. And actually Hayley just brought it home, so I actually can show you guys. But I was debating whether to use one, even though Alexander's not a child that does run off, if we are walking, you know, in town, or, you know, we're in a big shopping centre and things like that, like, he doesn't run off. You know, he might stay behind, you know, and look at a toy or something, but once Steve and I or Hayley, you know, call him, after a couple of times, usually he will come running after us. So he's pretty good. I've been lucky, both my kids have been really good. But I was debating, just because of where we live and being on my own, because he's back at school and Steve's back at work, I was debating whether to get one of those backpacks that do have the harnesses on them with the lead, I want to say. They're not called a lead, but... And I've hated them, and I always said I would never, ever, ever put this particular backpack with the harness and the lead on my child. But as I said, I have been thinking about it. I haven't purchased one yet, but I have just recently bought him a brand new backpack, because his old one, because it was just a cheap one, it did break very easily. But I have got him another one. I will go get it. I'll be back in a sec. So it is, as I said, it's just a normal one. Has a little part for your drink bottle, and it's got, no, there's no zips inside. I thought there was one, but there's not. So it's nice and big and roomy for all his nappies, because he's still in nappies, spare clothes, wipes, everything, food, everything you need. Usually bunnies in there as well, and a drink, only because I would put a drink on the side here. The only problem is Alex's drink bottle is quite big and it doesn't fit in that little pocket, so usually it will go inside this. I'm just trying to think where I purchased this from. I can't remember, but again, I will link it down below. It wasn't expensive at all, and I knew that he probably wouldn't use it for too much longer, or if it got wrecked, then I was happy to pay, you know, a price that wasn't too expensive. But yeah, with those ones with the harnesses, I just haven't been able to find any without going online and having to buy one. So I'm kind of glad that, you know, well, I haven't come across any. You know, every time I go into a Target or Big W or anywhere, I just can't seem to find any. So, and as I said, he doesn't run off. So I'm very glad about that. So I have been able to just purchase a normal backpack. So another product is the good old nappy. We use Huggies, and I absolutely love Huggies. They are expensive, but they are so worth it. You know, if your child does tend to leak a lot or drink a lot, they're really, really good. I use them both with Hayley and Alexander. I've tried other brands and they just don't hold up to what a Huggies is. So he's just gone into the next stage, and then I think he'll pretty much be ready for like a dry night thing soon, and toilet training and underpants. Which I didn't think I'd ever have to do again. That's quite an interesting experience, you know, especially when I had Hayley, because I'd never done it before with a child. So being a first time mum, having a girl, but also having a disability and trying to work out how to sit your child on a potty. So that'll be another thing that'll be in our house very soon. Is very challenging. If you guys want to see what it's like, obviously, like, I won't keep the pee in it and whatever, but if you guys want to check out how I do it, then comment down below and let me know. again, it'll be a new experience for me because Alex is a boy and I haven't done it for like, what, 8 years, 9 years. So it's going to be a new experience, and if you guys want to come along with the journey, as I said, comment down below and we can do it together. If you guys have had a boy, please comment also on some things that worked for you guys, things that didn't work for you guys, just to help me before I start getting into this whole toilet training business, which I believe I don't think he's ready for. So I probably will have another year, I suspect, in nappies with him. And it'll be quite nice not to have nappies again in the house. But he's pretty good, actually. The other day, it's really funny. I was changing his bum, and I had the dirty nappy in one of those little bags, the smelly bags, and I was about to take it to the laundry to go and put it in the rubbish bin, and he took it off me and ran to the laundry himself. And I thought, oh, that's pretty clever. He's actually going to go and put it in the rubbish bin. Anyway, he proceeds to the laundry, and he doesn't quite get to the rubbish bin. He decides to put it into the laundry basket. Thank goodness it was in one of those bags, because it was a pretty smelly nappy. And then it was quite funny because he knew, like, it was something funny and that it wasn't in the right place. So he was trying to get the nappy out of the laundry basket. Now, the laundry basket's quite tall, and so it's almost like up to his chin, and he was trying to like dive into the laundry basket and get it out. And I was just sitting there and I was just laughing at him, and it was so funny. And he finally worked out that, you know, you have to tip the laundry basket over to get it out, and then he kind of handed me the bag like, you know, you can now put it in the bin, Mum. So yeah, he's getting very, very clever. Some things that he's been doing lately is just, he constantly makes us laugh. He's just, you know, like Haley used to make us laugh, but not like Alexander. He just thrives on everyone laughing at him. He's going to be the class clown, I think, when he grows up. He's just, yeah, like we'd be talking on the phone to my husband's family, and just telling them updates of how he's going and talking to them about things that are going on in our lives at the moment. And he will just do something absolutely hilarious, and we just can't no longer talk to them. We are just in stitches, and they're like, we don't understand what's going on. Like, why are you laughing? And because they obviously don't get to see him very often, they don't get to see that side of him. So hopefully, as I said, when we do go over soon, they will see that funny side, and they will understand why we don't get to actually talk to them in peace and quiet. Another two things actually I've got are too big to bring out. One of them I actually think I sold, so I can't bring that out obviously. But they are another big piece of furniture that my son absolutely loved, was the walker that he used. It was, I believe, from Target, I think. I'll insert a picture here with the price. This was great. He absolutely loved this. He got this for his first birthday. I bought this for him for his first birthday. And literally, like, that day that he got it, like, everyone was here for his first birthday, and he got up and he's just started walking. So, and I think he only used it maybe for like 2-3 weeks, and then he was off it and he was like running around the house. Product, again, I think I sold this one, was his jumperoo. He was obsessed with this jumperoo. I actually purchased it from an old school friend of mine. Her children had stopped using it, and it was like practically brand new. He loved being in it. He would be in it all day if I would let him. I've actually got this really funny video I took, and I think I posted it on Facebook, and what was happening was he decided that he didn't want to have a nap. I think, I'm not sure, I can't remember the age. I think he was under 1 anyway. And he decided, that he didn't want a nap. So I popped the jumper in front of the TV, popped him in it, and to get him to really, exhaust himself from jumping. And as you can see, he decided that he was going to take a little nap in his jumperoo. But every time something loud would come on the TV or something would happen, he would wake up and he would start bouncing, and then he'd go back to sleep. And then he'd wake up a little bit, and then he'd start bouncing again, and then he'd go back to sleep. And he did this for about 10 minutes, I think. And I think it was a live video I think I was doing. And my husband Steve had come home from work, and then I said to him, he's like, well, what's Alex doing? He didn't realise he was asleep, so he was just talking to me, and I'm like, oh, Alexander is actually fast asleep in this thing, but still jumping, because he just will not let me take him out. And as soon as I try, he just wakes up and screams. So I put him back in, and he'd go back to sleep. My husband picks him up as he's jumping, and picks him up, goes to put him to bed. He goes to sleep for 3 hours. I'm like, seriously? Oh, sometimes I'm just, this particular day I was like, he's not having a nap. I'm just going to leave him in there for a little while. He can have, a quick 5-minute nap, and then later I was going to try again. But he just wasn't having a bar of it, as I said, until Dad came home. And then miraculously, Dad was able to put him to bed, which I was thankful for, because I think that is all. Let me just check my list. The backpack, the nappies, and by the look of it on my list of things, that is all. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything else you guys can think of that I have missed out on my top 20, I think it is, lists that I've got here, please comment down below and let me know, or let me know your favourite things that maybe I haven't tried out, or I have and I've completely forgotten. But yeah, alright guys, I will talk to you very, very soon. Bye.